call the scarab. I had no idea it would activate.
Host acquired.
Who said that?
Systems tracking 3,
Okay,
2.
it's gonna be okay.
You never ask.
Hell yeah. They've been trying to stop the way, but the way don't stop.
Hello everyone, and we are here in Canton, North Canton at that. We're here because we heard, number one, we heard great theater, but also they got great snacks.
That's what we heard. I'm talking about everything. I mean,
we are ready.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to be on a diet, by the way. And I'm telling you, I might fall off the wagon and ride the dragon.
All right, well, let's get it going because we got to get in there. We are here. We're going to go see Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
We've been waiting. We went to Comic-Cons.
Oh man,
we didn't score We didn't score the comic book, which we will down the line. But
that's right.
We are here, looking forward to it. Lots of action. We like the twist that it's going to be a little bit of Hispanic. It's got Susan Sarandon, the kid, and only Scooter knows how to say his name.
Mardunia, I believe. Mardunia. I should have practiced more this morning, but I believe it's Sholo Mardunia. Yeah, you go.
Okay, Scooter.
Yes,
okay, little Scooter.
Scooter says Zo.
All right.
I think I've heard her pronounce it Sholo Mardunia. But we're gonna find it either way. Listen, peace, love, blessings. We're excited. We're ready to see how this plays out. We got the Blue Beetle on the big screen, and I'm talking about what, for the first time, they're taking a risk right now. Kudos to DC for taking these characters and go ahead and taking a risk. We have Black Adam. We've seen Dr. Fate and some other, I would say, lesser-known Hawkman as far as that. Now we got the Blue Beetle making their debut, man, and it's got a wonderful feel. Just like Art was saying, has that quintessential Hispanic as far as feel to it. Got George Lopez on the background. Listen, I am excited.
Great cast.
We are ready.
We're ready to go. But I'll tell you what, we're going to get going. I love the suit. This kid is great. We love him in Cobra Kai. So we're ready to see what he's going to do. So we're going to see you before and after the movie.
You got the wrong guy! I'm a nobody! I swear!
I was down, they see I'm up now.
The love you feel for your family makes you weak.
You're wrong. My family, that's what makes me strong.
I can create.
Yeah, that's more like it.
We are back after the movie.
After the movie.
Definitely. Just went to go see Blue Beetle.
Beetle.
Thumbs up, thumbs up. We really, really enjoyed it. The cast was amazing. The storyline was good too. Absolutely. This is a character that has been around for a long time in the DC era, and they just sort of just got it together and just made it. And the storyline is really good. You've got the reluctant hero. A lot of the things that we saw in the movie were basically we were just that you've seen in other superhero movies. I say that it has a feel of Iron Man. Little Scoot feels that Spider-Man, and both of them. But I thought that it's a really interesting. I'm going to get my thoughts about it, but there are a couple of things in there. Let's go to Little Scoot because I think he really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed the movie. George Lopez was really funny in that movie. The grandma's a real G.
Oh yeah, we got to find her story. We got to find her story.
Yeah. It really brings that. I feel like, in my opinion, it brings that Spider-Man feeling into it, especially with it's like a teenager, kind of like in that same concept and everything. It brings a good lesson to the story, brings a good emotion to the movie, and it's kind of one of those, not trying to give away anything, of where you can also look into the villain's perspective too, to kind of change your emotions and feelings about the movie. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Alrighty. All right, Scooter, you want to hit it?
I think it was super duper exciting. Definitely one of those movies. Go to the theater right now. Get up. Go support this film. Phenomenal. Super excited. I mean, I feel like I'm coming off a Blue Beetle high. Kudos to DC for taking those chances with some of those, I like to say, lesser known superheroes, anti-heroes, supervillains, and really creating a very powerful and compelling story around them. This movie was exciting. It was funny. had drama. It definitely, I mean, it's gonna tug at your heart. It's gonna tug at your emotions. It's gonna have you up and down everywhere, just like the Blue Beetle as far as in this movie. Which, if you haven't seen the previews, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But phenomenal. I mean, great job. I mean, great job. Tony the Tiger, great job, if I could say. With that being said, though, they did a phenomenal job telling the story, giving wonderful messages as far as within that movie too as well. How important love was, how important family was, finding your purpose and things like that. So there's so many different demographics to this movie that is phenomenal. You get a chance to see him do the true hero's journey as far as within this movie too as well. So they did go ahead, you could kind of have a feel and a subtle feel of some of the other movies. However, I will say they did a good job with a little bit of the originality within this film too as well. I mean, man, the characters, I mean, everybody embodied the character that they had, all the way from Susan Sarandon, playing kind of the evil mastermind, to let me make sure I get some of these names. I can't remember his first name, but last name is Mr. Trujillo. Trujillo, he played the actual villain in this movie and did a great job. I know we had seen him go ahead and play in Apocalypto, which was a good film too as well. But he did an amazing job as far as embodying that villain archetype within that movie. And like I said, you'll get the feel for the emotion in the ocean on that movie too as well. But let's go ahead and run some down. I had to go ahead and try my best to learn something. I'm working on this, so bear
I'm going to
with
hand
me.
it over to Scooter because he's been working on the
So you got
pronunciation.
Mr. Cobra Kai guy. I'm talking about Cholo Mariduña. So Cholo Mariduña. Hopefully I got that right. I'm gonna go ahead and say a thumbs up on that.
All right.
Did a phenomenal job embodying this character as far as on this Blue Beetle. And you know what? You got one says Iron Man, one says Peter Parker. As far as the Spider-Man, I say a little bit of that Iron Spider because it had that feel, a little bit of a feel of both. Of course, he has that young feel, that young Peter Parker and everything like that. But let me tell you something. He definitely has access to that alien tech, so to speak, and not the man-made tech like Iron Man. So you do get that feel as far as within the movie, which is awesome when you actually do get a chance to just kind of look at that. I don't want to take too long, but we got Bruna Marquezine. Hopefully I'm on the scene with that. She did a good job playing the love interest. I mean, she did a phenomenal job. And the way they had everything going, she just wasn't, oh man, she's so gorgeous. No, she had intelligence. She was smart. She was brave. She was willing to take certain chances. She was ready to step outside of herself within that movie too as well. Becky G. How about Becky G?
Becky G.
Becky G playing the voice of the intelligence, so to speak, as far as within the Blue Beetle, and almost giving that feel as though she was almost like, I am Groot, but she had more to say than Vin Diesel and Groot. She did a good job. Go ahead.
It also brings that kind of Venom feeling.
Right.
That's a good one. Absolutely. Yeah. I didn't think about that symbiote style.
And she did say something like that. Let's talk about the sister.
Oh yes, man. Let me tell you something.
We want to talk about this cast because
Belisa Escobedo did a phenomenal job as the sister. She played the funny, at times heroic, daring,
emotional.
I mean, you circled all of the above, and this actress right here embodied that character too as well. I mean, she did a great job playing that even having a change within the film to kind of being, hey, I need to toughen up and be the protector, in that film. She did a good job, embodied that role. I want to say save the best for last, but you know what? I'm gonna hop in right now, and I can't say he is the best, but he's just man. He's that household name, man. He's like
he was good, and I know where you're going because I always wonder about when they have too much of a comic relief.
That's right.
This
George Lopez, man. He was
really good.
Yeah.
And he was like, he went from like, oh, is he a sloth? To like a genius.
Absolutely. And it wasn't over the top. The one thing I like with the comedy, it was not over the top. You would have thought, oh man, he's just going to be over the top. He's going to run away with this thing. No, he just did just enough, played his part, played his position, played an excellent role within there. At times he needed to be serious. At times he needed to be emotional. Kudos to George Lopez as far as within this role too as well. We have the grandma. I mean,
Yeah, the
Adriana Barraza. And let me tell
You're gonna
you
be
something.
surprised.
Scoot really enjoyed that character. I mean, she was like the grandmother that was
Rambo.
yeah, she was like, let me
She
tell
was
you
Rambo.
something. You kept her away from the comedy club because she was no joke. Let me tell you something. You kept her right away from there. She was awesome when in there, but she was funny. She was you find intelligent, and you find out too she possessed a sense of strength that she was able to pass
Right,
on to the
to
families, which is awesome because we see that within a lot of our family archetypes where you have that strong woman that holds everything together on that, and she played that. You know, she played a good
And they
job
had a
as far as
point
with
too.
that.
I think we're good on
Yeah.
the cast.
Yeah.
But there was one point I want to know that the majority of the cast is Hispanic.
Yes,
A
yes,
Latino.
yes,
And I
yes.
think that showed. I think a lot of people are going to get the feeling of the Latino family in there. There's especially a
Right,
scene
right.
where they say we cannot cry right now,
Right.
and then there's a scene that comes up later
Right.
that is amazing.
Right.
But one of the things that I was looking at a statistic, it said out of 51,000 characters, rounding it off, only 5% are considered or referred to as Hispanic or Latino.
Right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
That they're giving their true what they
Right,
are.
right.
And so I think with this, you're going to see family, you're going to see community. But again, with the Blue Beetle, we didn't tell you too much about it. That he
Yes,
gets
yes.
this thing called the scribe
Yeah.
or the scrub.
The scarab, yeah,
Scrib.
scarab, yes, yes.
And then
Yes.
it picks him or picks
Right,
the person.
right,
And
right.
it's got a cool thing. We want you also to stay around
Yes,
to the
stay
end.
to the
Not
end.
to the end,
Yes,
but
yes.
just stay just a
About
little bit.
midway, we say,
Right.
almost mid,
And
just
then-
coming to the midway, I would say. Yeah.
So we know,
Absolutely.
hopefully, if
Yeah.
it does real well, it's going to get a sequel. One other thing I do
Yes.
want to do, if you're parents and thinking, hey, this is a PG-13 film, and there was a little bit of profanity in there,
Yes,
not
yes,
much,
yes.
but enough to jar us a little bit and say, whoa. And so that's
They
the
push,
thing
they
about it.
push the envelope, I will say, as far as on the profanity. You know, sometimes you get that good old slap of old crap, you know, but
Yeah,
you know,
something else.
you know,
Yeah.
but they did kind of push it a little bit as far as within that PG-13 realm. So it was on the cusp. It was on the cusp.
And I have to get on my
Yes.
soapbox just a
Yes.
slight bit
Yes.
because films today, it's really hard for. We're going to move up just a little.
Yes,
People
yes,
are trying to
yes,
get
yeah.
their food,
Yep.
but it's. When I was going to the movies, I won't date myself. I probably will. There was hardly any profanity in it.
Right.
Sort of like with the Rocky films, no profanity.
Right.
And I think parents want to be safe to be able to take their kids. Little Ski was kind of telling us that a little bit of profanity is kind of like the norm now, and that's, like I said, that's. But with movies and popcorn and having a good time, I don't think it's really needed. But like I said before, you know, that's what we're probably going to be getting a little bit of.
Right.
But all in all, it was just really, really a good film. Something that you should see and see it on the big screen.
Absolutely.
And
Make
see
sure
it-
you see it on the big screen.
Yeah,
Please.
support the film.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
the thing about it is
Yes.
we want to see not only more superheroes, but more
Right.
Latino.
Absolutely.
Latino
We wanna see that
recognition,
diversity.
the diversity,
Absolutely.
because they
Absolutely.
did such a good job.
Absolutely.
And I think everybody will probably
And
be
phenomenal
proud.
message within the film. Like I said, kudos to them at that. I know we're looking at superhero. I know we're looking at this, but talking about universal principles, talking about love, talking about purpose, talking about positivity, talking about dealing with things that you deal with in daily life. This movie encapsulates all of that. Go check it out at the theater. That's right.
And that's one thing too. It's kind of like, and I like the thing about the reluctant hero. Doesn't
Right.
want to be a hero, but
That's
has to
it.
be a
That's it.
hero.
That's it.
It's about family.
Yeah.
It's just a
That's
really,
it.
really good film. We really
Absolutely.
enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
So I guess we're going to see you before
And after the movie.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Nice choice.
I just wanna rap.